Once the kids come in, it's a whole new ball game, B. Is it woman stuff? Like the catty nature of like women that are alphas in the same room? Like, ladies, don't get mad at me. It's just a question. We're gonna try to unfold some of this. Is it just the competition of the industry? Is it that? Or is it the long running feud of them? Like what is it? What triggers stuff like this to the point where y'all bring the kids in? Let's start here. We even got a video to touch on with this one, this whole beef with Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. But off the rip, this is what's catching a lot of people's attention. Dear Culture Vulture. Now, mind y'all, people, culture, spelled with a K, I believe, as well. Yeah, that's the name of Cardi B's child. Dear Culture Vulture, your mom is pregnant with another monkey to add to her litter. The gag is that she was jealous of a little baby boy simply because his hair was longer than all four and you bald monkeys put together. Calling a little kid monkeys. Oh, you lucky you black saying that one. That last piece, Nikki, because the whole world would have went on fire with this monkey shit. The hair and the bald head or whatever. Not the biggest shots in the world. This most disrespectful things to say about a child in the world, but still nasty because it's a kid. You know? Dare I say, this feels a little Meet the Gramish. Is that where Nikki is inspired here? Dear Culture Vulture, dear Adonis. Is it? I don't know. I don't know. But Drake and Kendrick, they obviously have their own things and they can never be friends again either. And we know y'all got some serious beef. But this one right here, it's a lot. Cardi's no angel in this situation. But let's stay with Nicki for the moment. She's got a pinned comment to the top of her Twitter. Nicki Minaj, her album dropping March 27, 26. That seems to be a far way out. Is this like the early promo? And she puts this one up there a couple days ago, September 24th, 25. You know how many people are going to say so much of this is correlated to Cardi's successful album just dropped? Isn't Cardi number one? Isn't it all critically acclaimed? Everybody praising her album? The Nicki Minaj's of the world. Is she able to sit back and watch Cardi have her moment despite how much they hate each other? I'll leave that question there. What's this next tweet? Tweet. Camel and Rat. We are not phased by botted tweets and bots in the comments. You know she's on her anti-industry stuff lately, right? Should I even say lately? It's been for a minute. That's precisely why you broke now. Desiree got fillers since I said she ugly. Now she uglier. Oh, bitch. Camel, let's talk about your kids today. That's on the docket, nigga. Shuffles papers. Too much with the kid stuff. We're going to get back to a hailstorm of tweets from Nicki as well as Cardi. But let's watch a collage video that put a bunch of this shit together, at least from this recent stuff that they got going on.
Now, Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are beefing once again. After Cardi B dropped her recent album, fans started pointing out that some of Nicki's posts online looked like they might have been aimed at Cardi. And of course, that immediately reignited their feud, especially after Cardi B fired back. This time, the beef has gotten so nasty that they've even started dragging each other's kids into it. It all started about a week ago when Cardi B dropped her album Am I the Drama. Shortly after, Nicki put up a few tweets that many people thought were shots at Cardi B's album. And that's when Cardi responded with a message directly aimed at Nicki, saying, "Why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag you think it is. You've been in the game for 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers from your era. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those are the numbers you should be competing with. You can't because you're doing lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. Why are you even comparing yourself to me for?" From there, the back and forth really kicked off, with both Nicki and Cardi trading insults on Twitter. And as usual with these two, things escalated quickly and it got pretty nasty. So let's take a look at some of these tweets. Cardi B went on X, formerly known as Twitter, and put up a few posts where she said things like, "You must have missed me, huh? Crazy. Now kiss my feet. Nothing more annoying than a bored bitch. The power I have make these bitches come out of rehab every time. Go to your fucking room. Cocaine Barbie." This was a response to some of the things Nicki had been allegedly saying about Cardi B's album. And it looks like Nicki had been listening to and dissecting Cardi B's music and performance numbers. And Cardi definitely took notice. Now I want to take a look at some of these more explosive tweets because this is where the situation really started to spiral. One of the tweets from Cardi B said, "All right now, this is the third time talking about my pregnancy, like you wasn't going to different fertility doctors because you couldn't reproduce from all them perks scrambling your eggs. Not allegedly. Lord protect my babies." And things kept on getting worse with both sides bringing up personal issues and family. Nicki responded with a long thread of her own. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but to give you context, she basically denied ever having fertility issues, mocked Cardi B with the Barney B nickname, brought up personal allegations about Cardi B's relationships, and even threatened to release supposed medical records. And she closed by saying this, Also, let me say this, though I've never had fertility issues, it's not something to be used as a drag. Until you know the women who are actually living that pain, blaming themselves, we can only imagine and pray for them, love them, uplift them, not use these women as a punchline. So, in the middle of all the insults, Nicki also made a point about how fertility shouldn't be used as a weapon in arguments. And then this is when we get to the part I don't really like, which is kids
Fertility shouldn't be used as a weapon in arguments, but your kids can be used as a weapon in arguments. Okay, Nikki.
being dragged into the beef. I'm not really a fan of that at all, but obviously both of them decided to take it there. And personally, I don't really think it matters who started it. I think they both know exactly what they're doing. Cardi B started by saying, "Girl, it's your son's birthday. Why are you on Twitter dedicating essays to me? For the love of God, go to Chuck E. Cheese." In response, Nicki mentioned Cardi B's
Hold on. Can I ask y'all a question, chat? Is that considered a disrespectful thing to say towards involvement of kids? I just want to know because what I don't think was in this video is what seems to be like the true beginning of all this, which was the Lotto and the Cardi B audio that we played yesterday. Of course, you got to be here live to catch certain things. I had to clip it out on a replay video that got uploaded. But if you were here during the live yesterday, we ran that. Cardi B snapping on Lotto's manager. I'm going to beat her. Where is she? Pull up. Tell her link up there. Tell her link up. She spazzed out for like 90 seconds straight, just screaming her head off, right? So when that audio hits the internet and it's all on Twitter and people's talking about who leaked the call, did it come from Cardi's? Cardi's peoples, because it sounds like her audio was clear. Did Cardi leak it herself? Who put this out? Nicki Minaj, I'll say allegedly, comes in, inserts herself into the chat for that. Something that doesn't involve her, something that had nothing to do with her. My understanding is that was like the beginning of things, not to erase their whole past, right? So once you really into it with somebody, when somebody kicks it off later, I don't know how much you could say, hey, you started it. No, you just started it this time, and we've been into it 100 times. But back to my question. If somebody says, girl, you all on Twitter dissing me, or you got your mind in my business, isn't your child's birthday? Shouldn't you be at Chuck E. Cheese? What I'm really dissing you for is you as a mother or a parent. I'm saying you should have way bigger priorities to be putting your energy towards right now. That's not dissing your child. We got to separate the two. So for all the Barbs and the Cardi B fans online that's trying to go at that, you got to separate the two people. Don't try to, well, Cardi shouldn't have said she should be at Chuck E. Cheese. I'm talking about you as a mother. All right? Don't try to, anytime like a kid, the three-letter word comes into a sentence, don't everybody just, oh, you brought the kids in. That's not the same as bringing the kids in. All right? But anyway, once again, it's very hard to try to act like I'm pointing a finger who started it because their shit runs like 10 years.
daughter, Culture, in a tweet where she said, "Culture vulture, you ugly too." And then Cardi B fired back with one of the most viral tweets of this whole exchange. She wrote, "Papa Bear," which is a nickname for Nicki's child, "I'm sorry you can't speak in banging spoons because your mom couldn't put the drugs down. I'm sorry your mom not even paying attention to you on your own birthday because she's such an obsessed and dark-spirited hating hoe. I'm sorry." Nicki then escalated by saying, "Culture, you a roach and a monkey like your sister." At this point, things
Oh,
were way beyond anything that you could ever go back from, right? It turned
yeah.
into very personal insults about each other's kids. And in my opinion, that's where it completely crossed the line. But then again, there's no line in a situation like this. And I think a big part of the reason why so many people are paying attention to this particular beef is because it does get to a point like this. After that, Cardi B completely snapped and went on one of the harshest rants of the whole back and forth. She accused Nicki of having trauma from her own father, saying, "Babe, you've been having cum stains in your mouth since you was a minor because your daddy used to molest you. Damn.
Oh,
Tell the world that's why you wake up so miserable because you hurt and full of trauma and trying to apply it to everybody else, and why you keep bringing up Rock Nation. I'm not even signed to them. You delusional, paranoid, coke sniffing bitch." And then Cardi B after this continued with another extremely vicious tweet. "You said F vulture. What? Bitch. Fuck that slow ass son that came out of your pussy. You was wishing so much negativity on me while I was pregnant, and look at your karma. Look what your rotten pussy produced. Now he a whole 5-year-old tiptoeing around the house and can't spell his name. Damn." So right now it's obviously not about no music, no album. this turned into a straight up personal destruction, the lowest of the low. And honestly, that's why I said earlier that once kids get brought into it, the whole situation crossed the line. But then again, like I said, there's really no line in a situation like this. Now, there are some other posts as well, but honestly, we're way past gossip territory right now. And I'll be completely honest with you, this is not my forte since I like to have intelligent conversations and break things down in a way that makes sense.
Chat, y'all gotta hit me in the chat. I just searched in the background that whole thing, that tweet about Cardi B talking about your kid is five, can't spell whatever. Did Nicki Minaj's child have any birth defects or like mental issues? I don't know about that. I'm not knowledgeable about that at all. Is that like one of those underneath the ground level, hit below the belt joints from Cardi? What the hell they got going on? If that's true, chat, y'all hit me right now. I don't know.
But this situation right here is obviously far from logical. None of it really makes sense. These are two women who really don't like each other. I emphasize women because when women are beefing, they tend to get super catty because guys are like, you know what, let's fight it out and let's leave it in the ring. But women, they're very good at breaking each other down with words. And that's exactly what's going on here. For anyone familiar with Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, you already know that this isn't new. These two women have been going at it for years. And Cardi B actually used to be a huge Nicki Minaj fan before she became a rapper, even saying on multiple occasions that she adored Nicki a lot. But once Cardi B got her own momentum, things changed. The industry saw an opportunity to market her as competition to Nicki, because at that point, and honestly still today, there wasn't another female rapper on Nicki's level. Now, my personal
Now that right there is always interesting to me. When beefs go for years and years and years, you're always going to have a mixed bag reaction of how it really started, the true source, the true beginning of this shit. And you could ask 100 different people and get 100 different answers. But when Cardi B comes in, so like let's say Little Kim is Nicki Minaj's OG, right? Let's say the Lottos of the world and maybe even a Cardi, like, okay, maybe Nicki is considered your OG, right? Somebody that's been in the industry, putting in that type of work and was here before you, maybe kept some doors or opened new doors for you. Cool. Doesn't detract from what some of these people could come in the game and do. Jay-Z came after Rakim. Rakim is here. Jay-Z is there. Okay. It's what you do when you finally get your chance. But if you came in and you were praising Nicki or y'all cool for a second, is it the marketing that was early on? Was it the labels involved? Like, all right, there's so much money for us to watch the whole internet talk about when these two big female artists go back and forth. I saw one recently too, that this fake new Ice Spice girl that's coming onto the scene now. I can't stand her, by the way. She doesn't seem to have that much talent to me. All she does is walk back and forth with the little teeny boppy eyes and fucking neck shit. The no 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm a no, 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 no. Okay, you got big titties. Like we've been looking at titties our whole fucking life. You know, we're born with them in our fucking mouth. Like no, 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 no. And all right, the next Ice Spice, cool. But it's already building into like, oh, I'm the next Ice Spice, and they're already talking about subs and shots between them. But that could be inspired by the labels. Drama sells, beef sells. Everybody wants to see the next Jay-Z versus Nas. I get it. Is that the case with Cardi and Nicki? Or is it just because there's not enough going around when it comes to female rap and female hip hop? So y'all was already destined to have this type of war forever because y'all both rose to the top? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think is the beginning of RBE and URL? Do you think it's RBE specifically, URL specifically, or the nature of two battle rap platforms in New York, both one already being a pre-existing heavyweight and another one looking up and saying, wait a minute, this guy hits kind of hard, and it being political or industry motivated, and then whatever happens from each side happens? What do you think? You think that's the initial catalyst? Is it always boiling down to competition and money? Or is it really no, don't put no money or none of that shit in front of somebody's personal actions, which they may always take accountability for? Which one y'all really think it is? Come on, KX. Like, the whole world knows that. We know that. but what do you think the catalyst is? Hmm.
no theory on why Cardi B blew up the way she did is that the industry wanted to open the door for more marketable personalities, even if they weren't as talented musically. That way, they could push looks, social media presence, and personality driven branding, which makes the industry more money in the long run. Now, on the other hand, for Nicki Minaj, she's always been one of those artists who feels bigger than life. She was born to rap, born to perform, and she fought her way up in an era where artists didn't have all the tools that exist today. Her success feels more earned through talent and resilience, but when it comes to Cardi B, things are completely different for her. Her success has kind of been more generated through social media hype. Although I'm not the biggest fan of her music, I do respect her hustle. She's extremely resourceful, she's business minded, and she knows how
Boy, wouldn't that be great? Nicki Minaj seems to come off like she's like the dominant person in her relationships, right? A lot of people, I'm not saying this is true, Meek, don't get mad at me, but it's just like a lot of people see her like slapping Meek around a little bit, right? Respectfully. It's weird.
to stay relevant, but I don't think she could be put in the same conversation as a Nicki Minaj when it comes to artistry. Deep down, I think she knows that she's never going to get the same respect as Nicki simply because there are levels to the craft of making music. Now, to Cardi B's right, Cardi B is a huge brand with a machine fully behind her, but respect can't be bought, it can only be earned. And that's why Nicki's career looks different. A lot of people may not like Nicki Minaj, but at the same time, she's never really been industry friendly. She doesn't benefit the machine the same way a Cardi B does. That's part of the reason why, despite being nominated multiple times, Nicki has never won a Grammy. I'm not saying that it's a conspiracy theory that she hasn't won, but it is very strange considering her accolades and accomplishments in the music industry. So one could question why exactly she hasn't won a single Grammy. Some people might point towards her abrasive personality, but at the same time, there's a lot of artists in the music industry who are not particularly liked even by the music industry itself, and they've got Grammys and other awards for the work that they've put in. Meanwhile, Cardi B got a Grammy just 2 years into her mainstream run with Invasion of Privacy. But the Cardi B is right, she did break some records with that particular album, and she did make a lot of impact when she came out during that time. Now, when it comes to this back and forth between Nicki and Cardi, let's be real, the beef is lucrative. Everything is about garnering attention in general because that attention means eyeballs, which means potential sales. It keeps both of them in the headlines, it keeps fans talking, and if
Which is exactly why Nicki got that tweet of her upcoming album in March 2026 posted to the top of her Twitter now. And also in the midst of this back and forth Twitter, war with Nicki, what's one thing that she posted? Her album. Hey, I'm the drama in stores now, right? It's all always going to be part of it.
fuels engagement. In a way, the feud obviously benefits both sides. That said, I don't necessarily agree with how either of them are handling this ordeal, especially with children being dragged into it. That's a line I don't think should ever be crossed. And honestly, does it even matter who really started it this time? I don't personally think so because at this point, it feels like both of them know exactly how to push each other's buttons and they're willing to take it there. At the end of the day, I think all of this is just entertainment. And being completely honest with you, I'm starting to suspect that part of this might actually be set up somehow. I'm not saying for sure, but it feels too convenient sometimes because we all know when Nicki drops an album, there's going to be some type of drama that follows. These beefs keep both of them in the spotlight, and whether we like it or not, that attention turns into streams, headlines, and money. On the other end, I don't personally think the hate itself is generated. It does seem to come from a very real place, especially considering what both of them said. I personally don't ever see this beef not being a thing. There's a lot of politics that come into play behind the scenes when it comes to the issues that Nicki and Cardi have with each other. So I think there's a lot of people behind the scenes who are very invested in seeing both of these women going at each other. Nicki and Cardi B are beefing once again, and I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Yeah, and then you know what happens? People start talking about like, how about we now just bring them together? That'll be massive. Well, when certain lines are crossed, certain lines are crossed. All right. So don't ask these girls to get back together. Y'all done already dissed each other's children or whatnot. The most they could do is be in the same room and cut each other's eyes. Like, all right, whatever, beef over. But right. All right, let's continue with these tweets, these nasty ass tweet, and this starts to get a little bit more focused on Nicki now. Nicki Minaj continues coming for Cardi B, Stephen Diggs, Saucy Santana, Jay Z, etc. Before observing Yom Kippur. Cardi B responds one more time after open letter. All right. Cardi B says, quiet is kept. The truth is, you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar for almost 9 years, and you also have heavy drug, cocaine, perks, and Xanax. You don't listen to nobody around you. The only person that you have that the power is Kenny Petty, but you know what happens with the Amex when you sedated. Ooh. Here's the thing too. Like we be looking at some of this stuff as like, all right, they just be talking shit around about each other. The thing is, at this level, all types of information comes to them, and they really be hearing shit and knowing shit about each other behind the scenes. That happens in every industry. All right. Like I didn't grow up with this person, but I know a lot about them because we just operated in this field. And you got people that are close to them that talk about them, ex-girlfriends that talk about them, fans that know stuff, cousins, disgruntled brother that no longer hangs out with you. years and years and years of people telling you things, or you hearing things through the grapevine, and a percentage of the shit be true. All right. So I'm gonna say allegedly for the stuff that we're reading, but you just never know. All right. I'm letting you know again. Stop playing with my kids, bitch. You just mad because your son' favorite color is 5. Get the fuck on, you crackhead. Jeez. Dear Onika, this is my last time responding to you because this past Twitter now, I gotta see you. But first, I'm gonna tell you the truth. So that was the long thing that she laid out. You said out your own mouth that the little girl in you haven't forgave your mother yet, and that's because your mom used to stay silent when, and we saw that in the previous video. She's, talking about past trauma, her allegedly being abused by her own father as a child. Ugly. All right, Cardi. Guess we got the answer, and this is what I was talking about. Am I the drama? Out now. Hey, promo time, right? Might as well. And if she didn't remember to tweet this, somebody in her corner best have texted her and said, hey, tweet the album, tweet the album, tweet the album. That's how it goes. So it's probably at 1 million views right now. You see, it's at 896 in this particular time of the tweet. It's probably at 1 million already. What did she retweet? Look at Cardi B did by dropping an album. Got the internet in a frenzy. Miss Cardi is the drama for sure. Oh, I don't know. I don't think that Nicki is happy watching the album. People be sitting back and praying for failures. Is Offset over there wishing that, Cardi's album doesn't do that great? Is Drake is Kendrick looking at Drake saying, "I hope Iceman flops"? Whether they ever admit it or not, like, let's be real. All right, let's continue. What else you got going on? Nicki, she's in her Chucky bag. All right. This is after a TMZ post. Eat shit. You in paperwork. You know what you did. Come eat I'm on my period. She's going in. She's going in. And this is where she starts going into other people as well. Democrats, take them down. You're all powerful Democrats. Remember, they lost the election on purpose. Take them down. They're a curse. Take them down. I heard the Lord say, it is done. Okay, Lord, thank you. We give you the honor and the glory and praise Jesus. Bob's, the reason they did all that to my husband is because he snatched the phone from Tubby and Webb. Well, y'all know Zoo. If I release that call, it's lights out. They believe that, but my husband, I would have done that tour and album with Barney B. So they cursed themselves for life. So her husband will forever be a target by her ops because of the stuff that he faced, right? Is he allegedly, is he registered as an offender? I'll say allegedly, but that he'll always be targeted by ops, and she obviously will always be there defending him. So that'll always be something that people got to look at Nicki about. Like, your husband had certain stuff, and should I say allegedly, but her brother as well, right? And she is married one and supported the other throughout those type of claims. It is what it is. That's what be so funny, like, because sometimes people will say you can't never have the accusations. But you know how many people have the accusations? Jay-Z just had the accusations. Your husband has. People get the accusations, or sometimes even the charges frequently. We did a video of that, breaking down all these celebrities that had sex offender charges. And I was just like, what? And some of them to this day are still your favorites. It is what it is, but it's going to be a target for you, shorty. So I guess that some of that is even defending him. All right. Who is this? Sean G, your time is up. Gene Nelson, your number has been called. Doodoo James, you shitted on yourself that night. Your time is up. Cortez Bryant, your time is up. I guess she just said, you know what? Since we're here, fuck it. Bitch, I ain't gonna lie. I've been laughing so hard for the last 24 hours straight. Who the fuck gonna bring this energy like good tight whole Onika? They gotta move around once the queen is what? Okay, but it's also drop anyway. I don't need to get at her for that. Like, whatever. We will boycott every company attached to her, just like we did with the BET. Every company that enabled her disgusting remarks about children and other marginalized groups for years. You have 3 days to cut ties. Shall she put niggas on the clock, huh? That is it. That is all. Enjoy your day. All right. You're going to expose the whole industry? The billionaire's obsessed with my husband for years. Mad their chest looks like shriveled up ramen in a cup that been in the pantry for years. No matter how much tabo they take or tabo they take, they look like a prune. So let's say this about the obsession with your. I don't know who's obsessed with her husband or not. I damn sure don't give a fuck. But let's be real for a second, people. Fellas, you ever you ever see a particular woman with a particular guy and scratch your head and it's not rooted in hate or jealousy? There's a big difference. Let me show you the jealousy piece. Um, oh, Jay-Z, camel face looking at. I ain't listening to that nigga music. Fuck him. And if she want to be with that nigga, she's stupid too. Clear. Jealous, hating ass, clown ass, lame ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get it. You probably have Beyonce hanging on your wall. You just want to be replaced by, you want to go to sleep next to her at night. We get it. Okay. Sorry. Sorry it didn't work out for you. Clear hate. But let me give you the difference of the shit. Like, let's say Beyonce is Beyonce this whole time and she was single. So we got to see a dominant, talented, classy, strong woman. We got to see her be political. We got to see her be outspoken. We got to see her show high levels of intelligence and strength. And then she pops up today. Literally, she was single this whole time. She pops up today, and she's arm to arm with Ray J or Safari. Right? People be like, "What?" I would react like that. I ain't gonna lie, and it would not come from a place of I wouldn't want to be in their place. I wouldn't. I'd be like, something happened, and it went cool. Salute to y'all. But in my mind, I'd be like, that shit don't match. Like, all maturity on the table, people. Ray J, what's the last like 3 times I seen him pop up on a TMZ website that I look at daily? Okay, literally. So all maturity on the table. The last time I seen, which was either today or yesterday, is he's allegedly being sued by Kim Kardashian and the mother, because he keeps running around saying that they're gonna have a RICO coming their way. All right. The time before that, y'all could call it a skit or whatever it was, but it's a fucking one of the lamest, like, man, move around, you nasty cornball, weird ass, the shit in Casa Not shit, where they put the titles up talking about Ray J walking around bricking the room with a whole bunch of men, and Kai runs around like, oh, like, it's like, what are y'all doing? Like, who signs on for that skit? And before that, I think what I remember on TMZ is him wanting to jump in the fucking shower with niggas with Kai Cenat and shit. Now y'all it might be a joke for the stream or whatever. That's y'all type of way of playing around and joking. Cool. But it don't match what we see from Beyonce. There's just certain things that just don't look right. It's not hate. It's not hate. All right. So when I look at Nicki Minaj, highly preferred woman, always seems to be an alpha in the room, a little bit overly aggressive for a woman at times. It seems like nobody's really making her settle the fuck down, but that's part of her. Maybe that's part of her image. Maybe that's part of her upbringing. Cool. And then when we see this guy, and it doesn't have to be a known person. Like, I'm not the guy that says celebrities should be with celebrities. Like, so what if nobody know him? But the charges and stuff, and when it looks like you got like a quality or more quality, but I'm not talking about Safari, right? But when we see people just have these drop-offs as far as like the imagery of what you guys try to uphold for your wholesale anyway, based on who you're locking arms with in front of the public that buys your albums. It was a weird one for the company, for the culture. It's like, yo, this guy got some weird stuff on his jacket. No, allegedly. Like, that's what you want to do, Nicki? Because you got a lot of choice out here. Like, so That's where I'm coming from with that shit. People don't ever mix that with jealousy. Don't ever mix that with jealousy. But Nikki, when they look at you and they put you on such a high platform, why do you think you're out here defending your husband all the time? Simply because people don't have the gym results that he has? If that's what you think, if that's what you want to tweet, so be it. All right. Keep it pushing. Are you what is this? Replying to this person. She's just snapped the Chucky shit again. Cool. Fucking the DL man raw and got pregnant with another monkey. You said, oh, so people been calling Stephen or Stephen Diggs down low, right? He all our baby daddies now. Your husband said he never liked you. Your pussy on yuck. Hubby told P years ago how ugly you look, always swollen and botched in the face from surgery. So guess what, Zoo? Take my money. Yes, daddy. Ow. It's both our money. Meow, daddy. All right, cool. So defending her husband while I talk about who just got you pregnant, women catty shit or whatever, but it's the kids one that was the most. All right, so here we go with a Jay-Z one. Jay-Z's so jealous of Nas. I was sued for hundreds of thousands over the song I did with Nas. It never saw the light of day. Casino, your numbers is called. Oh, well, I don't know how much Jay-Z's number is called or how much his time is running out. But let me give Nicki Minaj here a benefit of the doubt because I've experienced that type of stuff. There'd be strings that get pulled or things that happen. Some of your favorites do some of the lamest, corniest, pussiest, lionest thievery shit. You know what I'm saying? Behind y'all back, and y'all just don't know. Right. So God knows if there's stuff we don't know between this whole Rock Nation and Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z. It could be possible. Right. But going on a Jay-Z rant spawned off of your Cardi B shit. Here you go. Cool. Maybe she should have waited just a little bit closer to March, like to your album dropping. Jay-Z got mad that I wouldn't give him a beat that I had already began legal paperwork for. The song I did with Weekend on Queen. He said it's Beyonce's beat. Whatever. What the fuck? I don't know how much people's gonna care about that. But and here we go again. Somebody tweets this and she retweets it. Her with her husband, Beyonce with Jay-Z standing behind her. I don't know if from a power couple standpoint there's any comparison. But hey, you guys do what you want to do. And Nikki retweets that. What the fuck? What the fuck? All right, let's move on. Let's move on. There was other pieces to this. I'm not even gonna read right now because it's getting annoying. Nicki Minaj continues to go off on X, and this is Quavo, Jay Z, Gail, and more. Moral of the story when it comes to Twitter, she's going Kanye mode for the moment. This is more important to me. This is when we start to answer some of the questions from the intro. Is it Nicki? Is it the industry? Is it Cardi? Is it stuff happening behind the scenes that we don't know about? Is it all of the above? All I know is the track record of Nicki Minaj is a little crazy for me. It's just a little crazy. All right. Nicki Minaj may be known just as much as her drama as for her music. The Anaconda rapper has been involved in several high profile feuds over the years with artists such as Miley Cyrus, Taylor Swift, yada, yada, yada. In April 2016, Facebook Live that she regretted some of the public fights, saying that she's a sweet person and doesn't want to be mean to people. She has continued to clash with fellow celebrities. Now, just a high profile list, and I'm sure that there's more that on this particular article, but SZA, that was a recent one. Um, I don't know if SZA's an angel, but her reputation is that she ain't into it. Nobody. How the fuck did she end up in it with Nicki all of a sudden? That was weird for people, right? You women in the industry can't stay together for shit, or is it just Nicki? I don't know. I don't know. Hours after Minaj accused Henderson of bullying her, even claiming that she had receipts, in July 2025, SZA posted on X Mercury retrograde. Don't take the bait, lol, silly goose. Though SZA later claimed that she wasn't even talking about her or anyone. With that pass, Minaj continued to fire shots on X at the singer's appearance and success. Yeah, we remember that. Started talking about how she looks and everything. It was just like, huh? Like, all right. I mean, sister said she wasn't talking about you. Is she lying? Was it a sub? But damn, Nicki, like, you have a big social media. Is the public spill for all of this shit with another woman really necessary? Megan Thee Stallion. We all know this one already. Cardi B. We all know this one already. Miley Cyrus. All right. Taylor Swift. Remy Ma. Jay-Z, of course. Mariah Carey. Was that the one where they was on the fucking dance show together and shit? They just couldn't get along. That was popcorn for everybody. But damn, Nikki, you are just at the Little Kim. You want your OG. What the fuck? Meek Mill, of course. Like whatever just happened to a clean breakup. Oh, is it her? Before we transition over, chat, I'm just gonna ask y'all: is it Nikki? Is it her? Is it her personality? Is she a drama queen? Is she always beefing? Does she always have the need to just call people out or try to check somebody or insert herself in stuff or go after other popping women? Is it her? SZA doesn't look like anyone I can think of. How you beef with mostly Sagittarius and this is why I don't claim her. The ladies is waiting in the chat. Yep, 100%. Hell yeah, it's Nikki. It's her. Yes, yes, and yes. The chat is all saying it's Nikki B. Chat is all saying it's Nikki. It's Nikki, bro. Definitely. Crazy part is I met her before she became famous and she was a sweetheart. No, she was a sweetheart during that meeting. See the difference? What do I think? Fuck yeah. Like, we ain't gonna do, I was gonna let y'all close it out. But for me, I'm not gonna do the whole where there's fire, there's infernos. And I'm skipping the where there's smoke, there's fire for a reason. Because sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire, people got it out. Like, nah, it's just coincidence. It happened once, it happened twice, and I have an excuse for all of it. No, it's been fire. And this time around, the example of actually using a back and forth with Cardi B to just launch and say, you know what? By the way, your time is coming. Your time is coming. Fuck you too. Hey, Rock Nation. Hey, Jay-Z. Hey, that person. Hey, that person. These people are just minding their business. Like, even if you have legitimate beef with these people, leave it alone or let it die or it's quiet or nobody's bothering you. To take that moment to just like jump off into 15 other people. Now, if they start responding, you dare I say it's them? No, it's her. It's fucking Nikki. Her personality to me is trash. And I think she's a great rapper. I want to assume that she writes all of her shit. I think she's a great rapper. Her legend, her legacy, her career is one to be talked about for eternity when it comes to hip hop. She surpassed many people. She may have surpassed all her OGs from a number standpoint and a success standpoint. She is a very, very successful artist, and you can't take nothing from what she brought to hip hop and what she has done. But personality wise, from the outside looking in, it looks trash as fuck. It looks trash as fuck. It is what it is. All right, let's move on. Uh, I saw this video of academics breaking down when he just bumped into Jim Jones at the NBA YoungBoy concert. Jim.
See Birdman, and pause on that. I see Birdman walk in. I'm like, oh shit, Birdman. I'm walking down there, but I'm like, because I'm on the rise. I'm like, oh shit. I even went in front of my security. I'm like, oh shit, let me go tap it with Birdman real quick. As soon as I walk down, I see Jim Jones. Now I'm gonna keep it a being with y'all. And again, I'm only speaking from my perspective. And y'all know, like when I be telling these stories, I don't never be hyping nothing, right? Like I think I'm pretty fair. I was walking quickly to get to Birdman, but right behind Birdman was Jim Jones. Jim Jones had brought his mom. I didn't even realize he brought his mom. Like Mama Jones, he brought his mom. So I'm walking mad quickly. But I ain't gonna lie to you, I think the way Jim seen it was like I'm walking up on him. I swear. Like, cause I'm walking mad quick. And so I see Birdman and I see Jim Jones. And I'm like, oh shit, Jim, what up? Now Jim, what up back at me is a different type of what up. He's like, nigga, what up? And I'm like, whoa. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's how I walked up, because I walked up like OG3, nigga. Remember, you saw OG3 walked up with me? I walked up, but I wasn't. I was just walking quickly to get to Birdman. I'm gonna give Jim his credit. Jim was the oldest YN in the building, but he was on YN timing. I'm gonna keep it a beam. I go over to say, yo, Jim, we gotta get up and we gotta go do the interview. That's what I'm like, we gotta go do the interview. I don't know if it's because Young Boy was on stage. Jim Jones turned to a YN on me. Jim Jones was like, yo, hold on, let me holler at you, man. Let me holler at you. Jim is like, yo, listen, man, I gotta talk to you. I'm like, all right, what up, what's good? He kept asking questions like, yo, do y'all think the shit y'all do online is cool? So I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm kind of confused, honestly. I'm legit confused. I didn't get too much info out of him, but he mentioned 6ix9ine. He said, whatever 6ix9ine. Then he's like, yo, y'all gotta know, yo, it ain't safe when niggas is playing with me like that. And I'm thinking about, I'm like, what the fuck do I? So I kept trying to ask him. I said, what me and 6ix9ine got to do with you, or what I got to do with if you and 6ix9ine got something. Rappers are the best at, if they can't find the person they don't like, someone else inherits. So it's like Dave Free seeing me, and Dave Free saying, yo, well, I'll never see Drake ever in life, so let me tell you why I'm mad at Drake. Okay, cool. I think I'm like, yo, is he mad at, like, how is he mad at 6ix9ine and coming at me? Y'all two were 9 Trey Bloods. I was never a 9 Trey Blood, and I don't want to be one. If y'all got a problem, and here's the thing, I was thinking about their issue a little bit more. When 6ix9ine was a 9 Trey Blood, Jim knew about it before everybody got locked up. He could have prevented this by trying to do whatever he had to do then. 6ix9ine gets locked up with some of the 9 Trey dudes, tells on the 9 Trey dudes. And then afterwards, 6ix9ine is still clowning because 6ix9ine like wearing that rat sleeve. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't care. Me, I'm one of them people. I talk, like, I have that conversation. I know some of y'all, like, again, after that handshake and even like that energy, I could have just said, I'm gonna just leave him over there, nigga. I walked up. I thought we could have a conversation. He just wasn't trying to have a conversation. So he was just like, yo, man, I ain't trying to have no conversation. He's like, listen, man, just enjoy the show. And I'm like, okay. Said something like, yo, and if anybody got a problem with me, they can let me know. I'm like, all right. Anyway, Jim was on his YN energy, man. I'm hoping he was just in a, maybe an upset frame of mind for that time, but I don't know.
I do know. And it's on both sides of the coin with both you and Jim. Where do y'all want to go first? Let's go to Jim first. Just accept it, people. That's why people are calling him the oldest YN in the world. When TMZ ran down on him, he laughed about it and he joked about it too. And people asking Jim to change, stop asking him to be a different person. He is who he is. All right. Just know who he is. That's all. Does that excuse being 49 years old and being on that type of time and temperature with a media or a blogger when you bump into each other at a concert? Right. And that's the thing too. It's just like, you could really be on time and you could really, really have, like, let's say, physical energy towards somebody, but you don't even have to show it like that. You don't have to put it out there like that. Jim comes across sometimes as somebody that's not as in control of his emotions that he should be, because there's a million people around. And if you're going to have that type of energy, all it takes is for the other side to say something that you don't like. And now you got to stand on the energy that you were presenting. Right? Sometimes it's way better to be more in control of your fucking emotions, and you could feel a way inside and you don't have to show it. It's called wolf in sheep clothing. Where you're just like, yo, I want to talk to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, so that shit y'all was doing online, that's not cool. Act would leave that conversation way more in your favor, because look, all it takes is less than 24 hours and he's right back on stream saying things that you probably would have an issue with. And you may not get the opportunity to bump into him anytime soon before he already continues to tear at your fucking character and what you got going on as one of the biggest platforms. And that's why everybody got a problem with him, because when he says unfavorable things in their direction, it's coming from a big platform. Okay. Now, speaking of platform, let's go to the other side. It's natural and sometimes it's justified. People don't just have a problem with the root source. In this case, it was 6ix9ine. People have a problem with the enabler too. Okay? Right now, if all right, so we've been covering the Serious Jones and the Ice shit, right? If uh if I interview the guy that was sitting next to Serious Jones, even if he says the exact same things that he said in that video with Serious Jones, Ice would look at me and be like, now let's say that video does 50,000 views, right? Ice would look at me like, oh, ARP. It wouldn't just be looking at that guy that came on here to talk shit. He would also take issue with the enabler. And people do that a lot, right? Academics is playing he's either playing stupid there or he's being naive. His friendship with 6ix9ine and Whack 100 has in many scenarios tore at the character, the reputation, the gang nature, or the snitch allegations towards Jim Jones. Many times, Whack 100 has campaigned that Jim Jones is a snitch a million times. 6ix9ine did it recently. You see the viral video going around of Jim Jones pulling up on Mel Murder as he got out of jail the first day. They hug and they embrace and then they go and they run around together, puts the chain on him. You home now, I got you. But Mel Murder was looked at as one of the high-ranking non-trade bloods in New York. And that, I mean, come on. Like, I'm not exposing them. They walking around with chains that got fives on them because that's their birth month or some shit. No, like what the fuck do the fives mean? All right, everybody wake the fuck up. And what did 6ix9ine do the moment that Mel Murder came home? Because they got issues and 6ix9ine will forever not fuck with Mel Murder. What does he do? He starts painting Mel Murder as a snitch. Said he was sentenced to like 11 and he came home in 7. Now, Jim Jones already having people that sometimes play with his name for being a rat. Whack did it for the airport shit with Jim. He did it for saying that there's some other shit that was going on, and Jim caught a case somewhere allegedly, and it never materialized. And then of course the epic situation with the audio being released, where Jim Jones is on the phone with Mel Murder, and they're talking about 6ix9ine. He's like super violated, and it seems like Jim Jones is giving orders to Mel Murder. So they looked at it. Well, Whack 100 looked at it like, well, Mel Murder just got convicted and served all these years, and Jim Jones goes untouched. Why? Now we know that Whack 100 jumps out the window a lot. He just did that to fucking Zay Osama, right? Just make shit up sometimes. Like just because you're out in a month and I think it should have been at least a year, you ratted. Like Whack 100 does that too much, okay? But he's done that with Jim, and I think it got legs because people was like, yeah, like we all listened to that audio, Jim. Like nobody was interested in you, like the feds wasn't. And the narrative becomes the narrative. So you got academics giving a platform and sometimes to a degree co-signing or at least enjoying Whack 100 playing with Jim Jones's reputation, his name, and all that, as same as his boy Mel Murder. And that's where it all comes from. That's what it all boils down to. So when Jim says, you know, that type of stuff and acting like it can get you hurt, Jim Jones was better off saying it, because now academics gets to come up here and some people won't leave with the type of message that I'm saying right now. And they'll hear academics out and they just won't put two and two together. They'll just say like, oh yeah, maybe he just bumped into Jim and Jim just out of nowhere said this. I'm not sticking up for Jim. I don't think that Jim needs to move like that. But I know what it's tied to. Maybe sometimes people don't like to bring that type of shit up. They just want to say it like on the surface. You know, the type of shit you do on the internet could get you hurt, right? Or playing with me, right? But tell the man, yo, Whack 100 and 6ix9ine are calling me and Mel Murder snitches. Do you believe that, Act? Like, you can ask a question. Do you believe that? Do you endorse that? Do you feel like platforming somebody calling me a snitch and there's no paperwork, I shouldn't feel away? Ask those questions and let's see what Act says. Instead of Jim doing that, though, he's just regular Jim. Just pretty much lets the person walk away feeling like the only thing that just happened right now was a vague threat, and I don't even have the full explanation for him of why he feels how he feels. I know why, but I ain't trying to teach Jim how to navigate that shit. Jim is who he is, like I said. He is who he is. Sorry, it's true though on that one. All right, y'all seen it? Queso ended up going to sentencing. What was he hit with? Well, what do we all expect him to get hit with?
All right, Mr. Robinson, again, on July 31 of 2025, the jury found you guilty as charged in count 1 to murder in the first degree by unanimous verdict. And at this time, this court will then adjudicate you guilty of that offense and sentence you to the only lawful sentence that this court can impose, and that is mandatory life in prison without the eligibility for parole. You will have credit for 1,666 days of time already served. I'll impose mandatory felony court costs of $518. I'll enter a restitution order payable to the Victims' Crimes Compensation Trust Fund, which will be joint and several with your co-defendant, in the amount of $7,500. Do you understand your sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, of course, you do maintain the right to appeal
Yes,
both
ma'am.
the judgment and the sentence entered in this case, and you, if are going to do so, must do so within 30 days. If you can't afford an attorney for that appeal, one can be appointed to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are the parties requesting at this time appointment of counsel, or is he going to retain counsel for the appeal?
Your Honor, at this time, he is going to be exercising his right to appeal, but at this time, we'd ask you to appoint counsel for appeal purposes. You will, of course, have advised him if he desires to retain counsel, he can do so at any time.
Yes. Okay. All right. That will be done. So do you understand your sentence?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, Mr. Robinson also has one remaining case, 2021 CF 2332 for another count of murder in the first degree. What is the intention of the parties for that matter?
Judge, I think we need an additional pretrial date for that case. And perhaps
Okay.
we could also address the hearing on the cost of prosecution at the same time.
All right. When do y'all want to come back for both of those things? If you can't afford an attorney.
It is incredible for me. No, it ain't. I'm lying. I expect it, but I'm reminded to see how gangster and how street and how go play just 3 of his videos, like the Quesos of the world, how street and how they tear shit up. I'll kill you. I'll do this. I'll blah, blah, blah. And then when you're sitting there in front of this old white lady, it's yes, ma'am. Isn't it bugged out to see how people how defeated they are when you take them out of their strength. And it's just like, oh, wait. I'm that one now. You gangster, drill rapper, the judge. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And so you would think that because he got hit with life, like he wouldn't be in there being all super cordial and courteous. He would just be like, yeah, all right, cool. Right. Why was he being so courteous? Because as they mentioned, he's going to go for an immediate appeal, and best of luck to him. Right. Y'all caught that sarcasm. But there was another piece that y'all saw too. Said you have 30 days to file as per the judge for the appeal. And the person that was representing him to his left, that woman with the glasses, she says they're requesting the judge to appoint him counsel. And if later on, if he gets the opportunity to retain, so retaining a lawyer is me going out and getting a paid lawyer. And good paid lawyers mean you have to retain them, meaning that, let's say they're charging you an hourly fee and they look at the job at hand that hopefully they've already done, a bunch of times in our experience. Then they say, well, this is probably going to take a good 500 hours of work to retain my services, to stay dedicated to your case, pay me up front for the amount of 300 hours, right? Or whatever, right? All lawyers or firms work different, but that's what retaining a lawyer is. That's why you pay forward. Good lawyers, expensive lawyers, they don't wait to complete the job and get paid after, unless it's a pro bono situation or something that they feel like is high profile and they have their reasons for doing it. Maybe they're up and coming, strengthening their resume. But these well-established, if I call Brian Steele right now and it's the type of case that he would be interested in, he's collecting some upfront money from me, boy. If it's $1 million case, he probably wants a quarter. Up front. So Queso don't got it. His representatives don't got it. His friends don't got it. His family don't got it. right? Where are all your friends? Where's your we when we speak about family, we see what happened with his father. His father's home somewhere, probably, right? Or did he get released yet? But where's all your gangbanging members? Where they at? Why are you up here talking about judge? Can you please appoint us a public defending lawyer until we can figure out how to retain what some people call a real lawyer? This is the consequences. This is the realities. This is the streets here. Life and not even a dime to your name to go get a real lawyer to help you appeal your life sentence. I don't got no sympathy for it because I don't believe in being out here and tearing the streets up. I don't live that type of lifestyle. I don't support it. And I don't live by no street codes where I gotta talk about like, but you never wish jail. No, a lot of these motherfuckers do not need to be on the streets with me or my kids. That's how I stand. Who want me to have sympathy for Queso after watching his whole career? I watched his career. I banged some of his music. Didn't mean I ever wanted to meet the man, shake the man's hand. But who believes he's innocent? I could go there. If you don't believe he's innocent, unless you's a street nigga, you shouldn't bat an eye to this conviction. You shouldn't. Tearing shit up. And this is the reasons why some of these little kids be getting hit or the neighborhoods they grow up in is all fucked up. And why the cycle of all this beef continues. And then you put it in the music, which promotes it and entices it and inflames it. And then when you got to stand in front of life, it's yes, ma'am. All right. Yes, ma'am. Now, huh? I called this one. I wasn't trying to wish it on the young man, but I seen it coming. Look at this one. NBA YoungBoy, the Master Concert teen brawler charged with assault. So remember we played briefly this video like last week, y'all? I saw it coming. Turns out that the kid was 14 years old. It was like some old man they got on video of him beating on. You know what? I'll play a piece of it again and then we'll go through the article. I ain't gonna play no more. And he just starts raining down his punches. Then he walks off of the camera, and then the old man is laying on the ground still. Looks like he has a bloody mouth. He's holding his face. And it shouldn't even just be about the age. If somebody don't deserve to get beat up, they don't deserve to get beat up. But the guy being an old man makes it 50 times, 100 times even worse. Little teenager beating on this old man that's working there, possibly trying to do a job, right? You was going to get in trouble for this shit. They was going to Rajah Jackson him sooner or later, regardless. And it was too public. It's all on TMZ and everything. They was going to find that kid. NBA YoungBoy's unruly teenage fan from his recent Kansas City concert now has a felony charge to his name before he can even get a driver's license. Ruining your future, man. And maybe he's not old enough to understand yet, so I want to give him some slack, but a F already on your name. Tuesday, the unidentified 14-year-old who was filmed wailing the snot out of so they got the guy's age, 66-year-old usher working inside the T-Mobile Center during YoungBoy's Make America Slime Again tour stop in the city was charged. 66. Jeez. Kansas City court administrator tells TMZ the teenager is now charged in connection with the attack of a T-Mobile Center employee during the NBA YoungBoy concert last week. The administrators write the juvenile office of the 16th Judicial Circuit in Jackson County filed one felony assault charge and one misdemeanor assault charge against the teen suspect. No name has been released because he's a juvenile. However, Thomas, whoever this is, the elder on the receiving end of the beatdown, told local Fox 4 accountability is important. Yeah, so he's going to press it. You can't be mad at him for that. But actually, kind of sad things got to this point. All right. The same guy, the 66-year-old guy, claims he doesn't remember much from the September 17th attack, but maintains the reaction didn't match the cause. He says he simply asked the teen to move to his assigned seat and all hell broke loose in his face with a flurry of fists to his dome. Well, the only reservation I have for the kid is he's 14 years old. And I did a lot of stupid shit when I was 14 as well. Luckily, I didn't get arrested for it. And I got the opportunity to get older, mature, listen to some people, hang around with some people, learn a little bit on my own, and realize things that I need to stop doing and things that I need to start doing. So that's the reservation I got for the kid. 14 years old, bad mistake. Um, on the flip side, though, you want to hope that shit like this doesn't start getting blamed on like NBA YoungBoys out there tearing up these concerts, and his music is obviously provoking these motherfuckers, right? You see the way everybody's just like, do not go to an NBA YoungBoy concert unless you's a whole shiesty wearing gangster yourself and you can get your gun inside. I'm joking. But that's the energy of his tours. Nah, I ain't doing that. Hey, that kid beat on that guy because NBA YoungBoy songs playing in the background. Some people know it's possible, but I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that shit. But when you start making big headlines like that, yeah, you never know. They turn to you like, oh, your tour is dangerous. So I don't see this one incident really harming the tour. The tour is making too much money. All right. It's too many powerful people that will keep this thing going. But I hope the best for that kid, right? If he could end up learning a harsh lesson and still somehow the old man getting some type of restitution in the equation, because he shouldn't just be pushed to the side. Because if that was my grandfather or my grandmother, I wouldn't want it pushed to the side. So if there was a way, because the kid is 14, so I have a little bit of like, fuck, I hope you learn a lesson. Anyway, and that's why Roger Jackson don't get that. Roger's a grown ass man. Real quick, let's keep an eye on the pinnacle of being a great woman. Brittany Renner is reportedly demanding PJ Washington to raise her child support from $5,000 to $35,000 a month, citing his recent $90 million deal while she can't afford the high cost of living. Brittany Renner demands $35,000 a month in child support. Yada 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 yada. Renner said the $5,500 child support was based on North Carolina expenses, and now that she's moved to California, she cannot afford the high cost of living on that amount. I want to stop right there. I'll say allegedly, but I do remember reading something, whether it was her case or somebody else's case. It might have been Anthony Edwards' case, but I'll still say allegedly for both of them. Moving to a state that has harsher child support penalties, who doesn't believe that is tactical? In her case, allegedly, I don't know, maybe she just wanted to be in California, right, at the time. But I think we read that for Anthony Edwards shit, where the lawyers were saying like, no, she moved over there to make the case more strengthened, and wherever you're at, if that's what you awarded, and then you want to go back to the judge and say, I moved, who the fuck asked you to move? Now, to be fair, as always, if you build something together, you deserve whatever you deserve. Okay? But $5,500 a month to put on top of your hard work, right? Because you're working, you're doing your thing, right? I know she had some recent reports. So last year, it's talking about being out of work or something like that. I'll still say allegedly. But for a child's upbringing, how many of us in the chat? A lot of us is 80s babies in the chat, 70s, 80s, and 90s babies is in the chat heavy. How many of y'all feel like y'all have $5,500 dedicated to you per month and your upbringing? All right, the economy changed, but I'm still saying, you know what I could do for a child with $5,500 above? Brittany, hey, you want that $90 million lifestyle, which is why it's cited. And to me, if you couldn't put me as a judge in this shit, because a lot of y'all, this shit would be getting balanced out. There's no fucking way I even want to hear you bring up how much he makes, because it shouldn't be about how much he makes, right? It should be about, what does the child need? Y'all both created this child together. PJ Washington absolutely has a responsibility here. But why is it about what he makes? Because you want to live in a bigger house in California now, right? But maybe that would have been the outcome if we were able to stay together and create a child or create life with somebody that you can stay with then and build this type of empire that you want given to you. So why do you even mention he makes 90 million? So why do I get 55? Well, why does that matter? How much does the child fucking need? In North Carolina, it was determined this price. What are you switching to from your North Carolina lifestyle to California that should go from 5,500 to 35,000? What are you changing? Mega mansion? Because $35,000 a month, if I take half of that, I'm in a crib. If I take $15,000, if I take $10,000, I don't know about California, but if I take $10,000 in certain states, if I'm into big homes, my crib is at least bare minimum, because zip code changes, school district, the amenities change. It's not always boiled down to the price, to the square footage, but I'm going for at least 10,000 square feet. If I'm spending $10,000 a month, I gotta at least have the complement to how much space I have. 10,000 square feet, bare minimum, $10,000 a month, and you want 35. All right. All right. Fun one for y'all. Check this out. Since we do so much interrogation room footage, this one says Florida man shows everyone how to handle detectives while in the interrogation room.
How many of y'all gonna come? Just one. They told they said they 10 deep, they gonna make me. I just want to call my lawyer. They don't want to let me do that. They talking about they 10 deep. Man, I can come in that work. Have a seat, Mr. Brinkley, sir. I need to talk to my lawyer. I respect that. Have a seat. I need to talk to my lawyer on boy. I respect that. Have a seat. You just have a seat. Man, I'm scared, man. I'm trying to get you out of here.
I'm scared.
All right, I need to let my lawyer read this paperwork. No, you don't, sir. I don't understand that shit. Huh? I don't know how to read. Hey, you go right here.
I don't know how to read.
That. I'll read it to you. Have a seat. I don't think you're going to read it right. Now, I have a seat right there. I don't trust you, partner. The sheriff of Palm Beach County, Florida. I don't trust you, partner. Listen. I don't trust you. This is very, very simple. I need my lawyer to read that. No, you don't. I have a DNA warrant signed by a judge, okay? The quicker we get this over with, the quicker you get out of here.
The quicker we get this over with, the quicker you get out of here. I thought everything is supposed to stop the moment the defendant says, I want a lawyer. I thought like legally that's the process. You can't even question after that. The whole thing about you having a warrant from a judge to sign something, once again, it's a whole bunch of paperwork. He says he wants somebody to help him read it, right? You got to respect it, B. You got to respect it. It is what it is. All right, last but not least, people. I know this is a father's video, but now all parents, y'all can all enjoy this one, okay? Everybody felt this way before. We take things out of context, and we're supposed to, all right? Look at the caption. When your kids finally talk back.
Didn't I ask you to clean up the room? So what's going on, man?
I said I'm gonna do it. Why you got that on?
Oh, because you just said you could whoop me. You said you pay the bills in the house and all that. You was like, I ain't your
That's
dad.
What I heard.
And
That's
at this
what I
point,
heard.
you grown.
Right.
You had just said.
I didn't say any of that.
Well, no, I mean, that's clearly what I heard. And I just want to make sure that I have a clear understanding of what you mean when you say, like I said, I was going to get to it. Because in my mind, what you said was, man, this is my house. I ain't got to do nothing. I pay the bills up in here. Forget you, Dad. You ain't on nothing. I'm the man of the house. And I just want to clarify if that's what you said. So is that what you said?
Nah, Dad, I wouldn't be doing none of that. I don't disrespect you.
All right, well, better then. Clean it up then, shorty. Get it together. Understand who the man in the house.
Bitch ass.
You hear me? God bless you.
Bitch ass
Didn't I
nigga.
ask you to-
And nigga said one little word. We turn that shit into everything because hold on, any contest. I'm sorry, but where did you get that from? What? Hell no, you must think you could whoop me. Don't be scared to jump out the window when your kids show you something different. You want to know why? It's not jumping out the window when you react to your children like that, because we know them the best. We know them. I was there from the moment my children took their first breath. I know how they cry, why they cry. We know their footsteps going up and down the fucking stairs. I know when I hear a scream, whether it's real or not, whether it's playing or somebody's hurt. I know. Oh, okay. Quick. You know, nobody knows my children better than me. They have another side to them that they friends see, of course. We're all like that once you get outside of your parents. But I know them so well. You could use a certain word, and I'll just be like, wait, what? Wait, what was that? Say that again. You're supposed to jump out the window because we know. Because we fucking know. One word. One fucking word. And I got you down to a T. Oh shit. I told y'all the other day, my son dapped me instead of hugged me for something. I was just like, oh, that's the cool shit coming in. The cool guy. You know. What did he text me last week when I was talking about that story of his sleepover when I had to run down on his friend. But he texted me. It was like, yo, dad, am I? And I was just like, I was cool with it. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like to be able to be the cool person that you respect as an adult and you know when to turn the switch on and off. I teach my children any type of those cool words that you use, they're used with me and me only or your friends. Like you can't walk outside this home and talk to your teacher like this and say yo to your teacher. And the moment I ever feel like some type of grace that I'm giving you to be comfortable and be more of yourself, you don't know how to hit the light switch is the moment I take back from you. All right. We all have to learn that light switch because it carries into our adult life. Like to this day, will I curse around my father? Right. I would, but I wouldn't curse the way like here on my podcast, you know, or like walk into an office. You hit a switch. I'm in a corporate America setting right now. Certain words never get said. You turn into queso, the yes ma'ams come out. You got to be able to hit the switch. So even me allowing you to talk to me a certain way, you know, adds layers to how you move through the world and knowing what room you're in, who you're talking to. You know, it's all an art, man. We are building these children from scratch. It's art, you know, but it's the most beautiful thing to do. All right. Miss AB says, oh, I'm sorry, at 6:00 on the dot, as soon as the stream cut on, Miss AB shouted out us or sent us out a membership gift. So I don't know who caught that one, but shout out to whoever got with that from the chat. Miss AB, I appreciate you. Sometimes Miss AB is moving around and she got to jump in. Sometimes she got to play the bushes. Sometimes it's work related, whatever. Sometimes she's traveling, but today she got a membership off for y'all. So I wish I could see who catches them more. Maybe if I was like pulled up the YouTube side, I'm on the StreamYard side. I don't know. I wish I could see who got them. I would shout y'all out too. But James Halliburton gifted 5 memberships at 6:02, just as we started. So 2 minutes into our stream, 6 memberships came out from 2 of our strongest members. I appreciate y'all both. Thank you for that. For my silence, okay. Why you played the bushes today, James? That happens. Jay Tamisha says, baby girl, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. You are my ladybug. Is this good enough for you? Oh, yeah, what y'all got y'all little fellow checks and balances member mod thing going on? I don't know what that's about, but shout out to y'all. And quick thing about this baby girl. Did I miss it? Did Drake's album, it didn't drop. I definitely would know if it dropped. When does Drake's Iceman album release? What am I missing? Is this like the longest rollout ever? Like when is it? Drake's Iceman album does not have an official release date yet still. So when we do all these Iceman episode 1, episode 2 and some, where's the album? You just made me think about this, Jay. Where's the album? Is it because he or people he's in business with feel like nothing has fully caught on yet? Like a big single? Is that why? Are we scared of the numbers right now because it's a pinnacle moment in his career? Not hitting the charts the right way creates a decline that we can't show or we don't want to be involved with right now. What the fuck is going on with the album? Where's the album? And timing of other stuff going on and making the headlines hurt. Same thing in battle rap. Same thing. If I got an event next week and the Monday before, Serious Jones and Head Ice news comes out, Official and Coffee Brown fight kicks up or whatever, that shit jumps into the news headlines and makes people forget or not think as much about focusing on my event. We hate that shit. We hate when controversy just jumps out there the week of our event. Like, fuck, now everybody's talking about this shit. And that's no different in the industry. Do you need to fall back for a second? Because Young Thug's controversy literally dominated headlines for a second. It literally detracts from other news. So you got Young Thug, you got this Cardi and Nicki. The Cardi's album's out right now. Damn, like is he just getting pushed around because he doesn't have my shit is the top of the news cycle right now? Is he getting pushed around? Damn, Drake. Where's the joint? Where's the album, G? I want to hear the music. Real shit. Bully from the chat says, I think he wasn't getting good reviews. All right. Oh, it's Positive Vibes birthday. All right, fuck Drake. That's how much Positive Vibes is my guy. Shout out to Positive. Where you at, G? Where you at? Where's Positive Vibes at? Here he is. Positive Vibes is my guy, man. One of the few people from the chat that I've actually met in person a bunch of times. Been involved with supporting RBE for years. I appreciate you, G. So happy birthday. All right. If y'all see when I started the stream, I have my this cup right here has been in my kitchens, plural. It's traveled with me since I was a baby because it was my mom's. And it got to a point where she was using it with me, and it stuck with me. And so every house that I moved, I made sure, because a lot of things get thrown out, old shit. This cup is, I don't know if she had it before I was born. For all I know, this cup is 50, 60 years old. No bullshit, right? But I had hot water in here, not even tea, because I had a little stop in regular checkup shit, and I got to go back again too, because the person that they didn't do my blood work. I gotta go back in my fucking blood work. I'm like, yo, you wasting my fucking time. But anyway, I brought up that sometimes my voice be hoarse in the mornings, and we discussed things like my eating style. I don't eat bad. Of course, there's triggers when you have like a little bit of extra acid in your stomach, whatever. So things like chocolate, things like alcohol, things like citrus, and yeah. Sleep positions. How often do you eat 3 hours before you go to sleep? Me, I do that very often. It's just how my schedule is. Sometimes I'm in the gym at 5, 6 o'clock, and I try to get a quick meal in, and I might be asleep by 8. Not so, it's part of it. But you got the eating habits and schedule things that factor in, and also things that I have like dryness too much. I sleep under a ceiling fan almost every night. It's comfortable for me. So he's like, that kills you, especially for people that sleep with their mouth open while they breathe. Like, you'll get dried out. Because I was just like, the shit really affects me the most in the morning. Like, later on in the day, I don't really feel the hoarseness. Just in the morning. They're like, yeah, you got to break that up. It's too dry for you. So I got the hot water. That was one thing to start off early with, to try. Fresh in the morning, to break things up and moisten up the you know what I mean? And I got one of these guys. I got a humidifier. All right. I don't know if some of y'all sleep with humidifiers. If you have, shoot me a tweet. Let me know if I got a decent one. Vicks, warm steam, vaporizer. Let me know if I got a good one. I know they'd probably be like, the shit's at the size of like little floor standing machines and whatnot. I was like, I ain't gonna do all that. I'm gonna start small, like the doctor told me. See if I could clear up some of this morning hoarseness, because it's only in the fucking mornings. You know what I'm saying? So maybe a combination of my eating schedule and things being too dry in my bedroom, and then the fan, and like maybe. So we're gonna try it. All right. Depends on the room size. So I plan on putting this right next to my bed, like my little nightstand. I do have a big bedroom. My bedroom is the size of my first bachelor pad's whole second floor. No bullshit. I used to have a little bachelor pad where I used to always do fight nights on the island and have like a bunch of people over the crib and whatnot. That entire second floor is like the size of my bedroom right now. So I hope this shit will work sitting right next to me on my nightstand. But I am listening to y'all advice. I appreciate y'all. Sincere says she has one as well. I had to use it for early years. Try hitting that steam sauna. Well, I don't have a sauna in the crib, so I don't know how often I could do that. I did see a house, not when I was the last 2 times back when I was shopping. I saw a crib that had a deactive elevator in it, and it was ridiculous because some the people installed it because of somebody that was like in a wheelchair or something like that. And the way they built it in, it had some issues, and you don't play with elevators, and they shut it down. So they were like, whoever buys it, if you want it, you gotta fix it or put a whole new. I was like, what? Like, nobody want this shit. And I did see another crib one time that had a sauna in it. Saunas are dangerous though. You know, you gotta be real careful. You gotta know what you're doing. You can't have ones that have any locking mechanisms. You gotta be careful with kids. Try not to fall asleep. Certain hot tubs, even, you know, if you put on like the high heat bubbling setting, they auto off in like 20 minutes because people pass out from that type of heat and the steam and everything. Pass the fuck out, and next thing you know, you fall underneath the water, and now somebody's getting sued because your sauna ran for longer than 20 minutes. No different than, what was it, McDonald's or Burger King getting sued for serving coffee that was too hot, you know? And some of this shit is dangerous, B. But yeah, I'm gonna try my my humidifier, see what happens. All right, happy Thursday. We marching down the week. I'm gonna get up out of here. Hour 20 in. I feel like we really, especially if I cut out those last 2 little fun things, we could have did an hour 10, maybe an hour-ish today's stream. So I don't mind at all. But I appreciate the feedback everybody's giving me, their ideas about this fucking dryness and hoarseness I be having in the mornings. I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. Keep the comments coming. All right, happy Thursday, y'all. 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We out.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.